Hello, this is Dr. Mears. Today we are going to be talking about inflation, annuity, and amortization. First, let's begin with inflation. Inflation measures the rate that prices for goods increase over time and as a result, how much less your money can buy. Now there's inflation adjustment, which is the change in price of an article that is a direct result of inflation. So let's look at these two examples that we're going to be doing. The first inflation example. The inflation rate of a country was calculated as 4.48 per annum. Remember, that is per year. Part A. Given that the same rate continues for the next 5 years, work out the percentage increase due to inflation at the end of 5 years. All right, well, first we know 5 years, so that's going to be our N. And remember, in class I've been saying write out your menu. So this menu should be written out before you even think about going to the calculator. So please write out your menu. So N is 5. We have the inflation rate at 4.48. Please remember, it is just your decimal. You're putting it in as is. Now, present value. What I'm going to write for present value is just $1. Because if we know what the inflation rate is on $1, we can apply it to anything. So we're just going to start off with the number 1. So our present value is going to be 1, but because we're taking it from the standpoint that, the banker, we don't have that dollar if we gave that dollar, so we're going to put a -1, just like we have been doing for the other examples. Now our payment, we're going to have 0. We are going to be looking at that later. Our future value, that's what we want to know. We want to know what happens after 5 years with an inflation rate of 4.48. Our PY and CY stay 1. Okay, so we get out our calculators. We push the apps button right here, apps. We're going to press enter twice, and we're going to put our numbers in. 5. Our PY and CY are 1, so I can just stop here. I can press alpha, enter, and we get negative 1.124. And that negative is because I actually didn't put this negative 1 in. I was going way too fast. So let me just go back and put that negative 1 in, and then recalculate. There we have positive 1.2449. So let's make that a 1.2445. Let's do that. So 1.2449, and I'm going to equivalent that to, I'm going to round it to 1.245. Remember, this 9 is greater than 5 or greater, so we round that second one up. Okay, so what is our answer actually? Because it says work out the percentage. So here's the thing. We end at, our future value is 1.245. Our present value that we started with is -1. So let's combine those. I'm actually really adding, but I'm adding a negative number, which is subtracting. So we're going to be combining these, and what I'm going to get is 0.245. That's how much it increased. Now, based upon a percentage, since it's out of a whole, we can just multiply this by 100 and we can get 24.5%. So the percentage increase is 24.5%. And that is based on our $1. And if you use $1 for these examples, you're always going to be able to do the same process. So our dollar went up by, that inflation rate went up by 24.5%. Wow, it's almost a quarter. All right, let's do part B. Just moving everything down a little bit so you can see. Okay, part B. A computer game costs $35 today. Calculate what you would expect it to cost next year due to the inflation adjustment. So how much is it going to adjust to this new rate that we have here? So we need computer games next year. Okay, so that's just 1 year away. Now this is part B, so we are going to use the 4.48. That is our inflation rate. So we're going to see what the new price is. That's what we really want to find out. What the new price. Okay, how is it going to adjust? All right, so our present value, remember, negative 35. We're not making any payments yet. That's coming up next in the next lesson. We want to know our future value, and our PY and CY are 1. All right, so let's go to our calculator. Let's go back up. 1, 4.48, negative 35. This is PY is 1 and CY is 1, so we're just going to find our future value, 36.568. So we're going to say 36.57. I'm just going to round that. Remember, when you round, this 8 was higher than 5 or higher, and so I round out the 6 up to a 7. Okay, so our new price, how did it adjust because of our inflation? It went up to $36.57. So what we expect to cost next year? Next year, it will cost $36.57 due to inflation adjustment. I am just curious. I'm just going to extend this lesson a little bit more. I just want to see, that could have been a really good part C for me to add, and I'm just thinking about this now. But what is the difference? What was the difference? So just extending that. So I just want to see if I subtract how much the new price from the old price, what that would be. And I haven't done this, so 36.57 minus 35. So it increased by $1.57. So if our inflation rate is 4.48, everything is getting more expensive. Our video game in a year will go from $35 to $36.57, which is a $1.57 increase. Okay, so hopefully you understand what we mean by inflation, where our goods are going up, and how our products are adjusting to that inflation rate. And that was inflation. Let's go to annuity and amortization. Okay, first, annuity. Annuity is a fixed sum payable at specific intervals, usually annually, over a period such as a person's life, in return for a premium paid either in installments or single payment. So what does that look like? Let's do this example. Trinity decides to save for a yacht. Now, this was from the IB book, and I was like, holy cow, a yacht? I don't even think I would be able to save for a yacht. Maybe a tiny little boat or something, but I'm like, a yacht, that's awesome. So go, Trinity, saving for your yacht. All right, that's what I wanted to say about that. All right, she would have to save 1 million Turkish lira, that's TRY, at the end of 10 years. She saves every year in an annuity that pays 4%. So what that means is every year she's putting money in. Year 1, she puts money in. Year 2, she puts money in. Year 3, she puts money in. Year 4, she puts money in. You get it. And at the end of 10 years, she wants to buy that yacht and she wants to have this 1 million in. So we have to calculate how much she has to save each year. Each year for 10 years, how much is she putting in? All right, so we have N is 10. All right, our interest rate is 4. Now, our present value here, for our present value, do we have any money? We have absolutely no money in, so our present value is going to be 0. Now, this is where our payment, PMT is payment. This is what we're going to try to find. This how much we have to put in every year. So this is going to be the amount that we have to find. Our future value, what she wants to have in there, is 1 million, 1 with 6 zeros. Our PY and CY are just 1. We're not doing any per year or compounding or anything, so everything for those two are going to be 1. All right, so let's go see how much she is going to have to put into the bank. Remember, she's putting into the bank. So this is probably going to, we're going to get a negative because remember the bank has it. She doesn't have it yet. All right, so this is 10. That's 4. We have nothing in there. We're going to make sure there's a number so you can scroll down. 1 with 6 zeros. All right, let's go back up and see. Alpha, enter. Oh my goodness. She needs to save $83,290. Let's go like 0.94. Let's always round to that second decimal. That's always a good habit to get into. Now, this is negative, and I'm actually going to write it down negative here because remember, she doesn't have that yet. If she took it out of the bank, then yes, but she has to put this into the bank. And remember, from the calculator does it from the perspective that she's giving it. So she's giving this much money. So writing it in a complete sentence, she needs to save Turkish lira 83290.94. Wow, 83,294 cents each year. So year 1, she's putting that in. Year 2, she's putting another 83,000 in. Year 3, another 83,000. Okay. Annuity. Example 2 for annuity. Trinity has been left an annuity of 5,000 Turkish lira in a will. So you could be left money in a will. So this is another type of annuity. So she's not saving now. Now somebody left it to her and she's going to be paid money. Yay! The annuity is for 5 years, 8% per year to be paid out monthly. This is where you have to be careful reading because we're going to have to do a couple things different for our number of years and our interest. We have to find the monthly payments. Now, this example up here, this was per year, how much she saves each year. Now we're changing to per month. So, first, how many years? We got 5 years. 5 years. However, because we're doing it monthly, we have to multiply this by 12. There are 12 months, so they have to multiply it. They're not just doing it 5 times, they're actually going to do it for 5 years, 12 times a year. So that's going to be coming up to 60. Now, you can leave this. Leave it as 5 times 12. Do that. It will help your brain remember that you're doing monthly. The calculator will take care of that for you. Now, what we also have to do is pay attention. This is per year. So we're going to take 8%, but we're not going to get it. We have to get it per year. So we have to transfer that or divide it by 12. We have to divide it by 12. And so this is that division symbol in the calculator. So first, we have to multiply for n and divide for I. So we're multiplying for n and dividing for I. And yes, that's the way it's going to be once you switch to monthly. What is her present value? So her present value is going to come out to be 5,000. Notice, please notice, it's positive because she's now getting this money. The bank is saying, here you go. Okay, so she is going to be getting this money. And our payment, that's what we want to find out. Future value, well, once the bank pays it all to her, they won't have anything left, and these are 1. So let's see what happens in our calculator when we put these numbers in. So 5 times 12, because over 5 years, she's